Anybody got a good song about chaos? Every day there's chaos. Maybe we should come up with one. Every day there's chaos. This is the chaos administration. Welcome to Lemon Live at 5, the Don Lemon Show. And boy, oh boy, I'm going to try to explain to you. Look, I am, as you know, a seasoned reporter. For years I've been in this business, and usually I have not a tough time explaining things to people. Good evening, everyone. But this one is a bit confusing because it looks like the White House done effed up again, to put it plainly. Confusion, chaos. Okay, so I'm going to try to explain it to you. Then we're going to bring in an attorney, and I'm not sure the attorneys even know, because I have been texting with attorneys, and they're like, I have no idea really what's going on. So if you know, in the comments, let me know. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. The more you hit the thumbs up, the more you like, the more you subscribe, more people become aware of our great Lemon Nation and our great conversations that we have here as we try to get you through the news. Okay, so tonight we have to talk about the chaos that's unfolding in Washington. And I'm talking about this funding freeze, which was our breaking news yesterday that we discussed ad nauseum. You thought it would be over, at least until this hearing on Monday that the judge said. Okay, so this funding freeze is a decision that sent shockwaves through the Congress and federal agencies and, quite frankly, the entire country. So how did we get here? All right, let me start. A little breakdown here. This is how we got here. It started with a memo. Yes, one single memo. It was from the OMB. It outlined a sudden and sweeping freeze of federal grant spending. The freeze left crucial programs in limbo, from cancer research to Medicaid, which is pretty important for people, right? To their lives. The uncertainty it created was crippling, and people were scared and frightening that they wouldn't get their services that they need in order to stay healthy, stay alive, to feed their families. All right? State governments, contractors, and agencies didn't know if their funding would be restored, revised, or eliminated altogether. That is not just a bureaucratic headache. That is a policy disaster. This is an administration disaster. Make note, that's not hyperbole. That's not opinion. This is a fact. It's a disaster. Lawyers immediately went before a judge. And before said judge, they successfully obtained an injunction. They effectively paused the pause on spending. Are you following me? Anyone, are you following me? They paused the pause on spending. I'm going slow because there's a lot here, okay? That all happened yesterday. If you watch Lemon Live at 5 every day, you know it because you watched it play out. And then today, the OMB put out a statement saying their memo was rescinded. The memo stating that they wanted to pause federal spending. After the judge said, no, I'm putting a pause on that pause. So they came back and said, no, we are rescinding that memo. So yes, in one tweet, they did away with the funding freeze. They thought that, okay, it's over. Democrats declared victory. They saved Medicaid. They had saved cancer research and farm subsidies. But then this is where it gets really interesting. If that wasn't interesting enough, okay? Drama. But then the White House press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, announced the funding freeze was not rescinded. Only the memo from the OMB. The freeze was not rescinded. She's like, look, we just rescinded the memo. The freeze wasn't rescinded. Okay? I'll show you all of it. So stand by. Stand back and stand by. So to be quite frank, no one knows what the hell is going on. An entire administration of really clowns. I hate to say bad things about people, but it really is flamethrowers with flamethrowers. They're unserious. They're being silly. They're acting like novices, like they're like some college kids doing this, especially, someone sending out a tweet like that. It's a proper press secretary, communications director, whatever, head of communications would know better. A seasoned person would know better. But even with all that, they're still very, very dangerous. Okay, let's bring in Dave Ehrenberg. Dave, thank you so much, Dave. We call him the Florida lawman. Dave, you are the former state's attorney for Palm Beach County, Florida, correct?
Correct. Good to be
The
with you, Don.
AKA Florida lawman. Okay, so Dave, let me just go through this, and I just want to show people, and I want to show you. I know you heard it. Okay, so let's put this up. This is a letter that was rescinding the freeze. Okay, Executive Office of the President's Office of Management, OMB, memorandum, blah, 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 is rescinded. If you have questions about implementing the president's executive orders, please contact your agency general counsel. Okay. Then after that, this was after the judge thing yesterday. Then after that, here is Caroline Levitt's tweet saying the freeze is not rescinded. This is not a rescission of the federal funding freeze. It is simply a rescission of the OMB memo. Why? To end a confusion created by the court's injunction. She's explaining what the court meant, I guess. The president's EOs should not be a possessive on the S. They are just EOs. On federal funding, I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not being petty, but if you are the communications or you're the White House press secretary, you should know the president is not, I don't know, it's just bad. Right. The apostrophe on president is correct. EO is wrong. On federal funding remain in full effect, full force and effect, and will be rigorously implemented. Okay, so then the lawyers go, whoa, 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 whoa. Not so fast. Are you guys trying to pull a fast one on us? They take it to the judge. They say, judge. They tell it to the judge, as we say. The judge says, no, something is fishy. Something fishy is going on here. And then Judge McConnell granted the restraining order, saying the withdrawal of the hugely ambiguous OMB order is only a distinction without a difference based on comments by the press secretary. So because of the press secretary, that the comments, I guess the tweet and maybe some comments, I don't know, the judge said, just to confirm and to reiterate this thing, there is still a pause on the pause. And then Sam Stein, I don't know if you agree, tweets this. Trump White House suffers court setback even after rescinding OMB order. It appears press secretary tweet saying the freeze had not been rescinded may have hurt the administration's case in court. Dave, this is embarrassing. Talk to me. What on earth is going on here?
Well, Don, it's great to be back with you.
Florida lawman, what is going on here?
This is the chaos presidency. He wants action, chaos. He wants everyone talking about him. And he does not mind losing in court because then he becomes a martyr, which is the highest form of life in MAGA world, and gets to blame liberal activist judges. Look, I tried. The swamp got me, but I'll keep fighting for you. What he didn't count on, though, is that there was such a backlash amongst the public, including his own supporters, that he was forced to rescind the memo on his own. So what his press secretary is doing is trying to save face, trying to say, well, no, we really didn't rescind it. We don't say we're sorry here. We don't take anything back. We don't make mistakes. It's still in existence, even though it's not. So this was just an attempt to go after woke ideology by freezing all money, even though they knew they didn't have the power to do it. But they thought that if they got called out by the court, they would win by losing. And what they didn't count on, though, was the backlash, which is why they had to rescind the policy, even despite the court action.
Okay, before we get to how it's going to affect, and I think you alluded to that, Trump's own supporters the most, let's get to the judge. So if you're doing this, I think the judge didn't take very kindly to this because I don't know if it was Donald Trump, I don't know who, but basically you had the press secretary saying that a judge is wrong, and her legal ruling doesn't matter because there is confusion. She's deciding for the judge what the ruling and the court actually means. That's a no-no.
Oh, yeah. Judges hate to be upstaged. They wear the black robes. We don't. They get the gavel. We don't. And we have to stand up when they enter the room. So you have this judge who is declaring that the EO memo is null and void, at least for now. And then you have the press secretary saying, nah, we're still going to do it. And that's what angered the judge. But again, that's okay with Trump. Trump's okay with angering judges. Trump's okay with losing in court. It fulfills his mission of becoming a martyr, or sometimes even getting something through the courts and actually putting it into law. Either way, he wins.
Okay, I don't know who this Caroline Levitt is. Like, I don't have to follow it the way that I used to when I was in corporate media. So, but just from observing what she did the first day and having some factual and technical mistakes, now you have her doing this. Now, Trump doesn't mind losing in court, but is he going to mind that because it appears from what the judge said, because of her comments and what she tweeted, that caused the issue here and could cause them to lose the case? Is he going to say, wait a minute, all right, or should he have someone with more experience, a little bit more wisdom, that is used to working in Washington in that position? If they're going to be the front person, then all of a sudden they lose the case because of inexperience or a what would you call it, an unforced error like that?
Trump doesn't care about experience. He likes it when you look good in front of the cameras. That's what he wants. He didn't, right? You know why he didn't like John Bolton? Remember why he didn't like John Bolton, Don? Not because he didn't have enough experience. He had plenty of experience. It's because he had that gray mustache and the dark hair. That was a no-no to Donald Trump. And this young woman, she's only 27 years old, but in Trump's eyes,
wait, hold on. She's only 27 years old?
Yeah.
No shade, but that, all right.
Yeah. But I don't think Trump minds that her comments led to a court defeat because, again, he's cool with court defeats. He'll blame the judges, and then he can tell his supporters, look, I tried, even though he could never free spend. He can't do that. But now he gets to blame it on the guy wearing the black robe. So it's all good for him.
So now what? So the judge originally said, we're putting a pause on this. We'll get back to this on Monday because we're putting a pause on it. And that's what we're going to have to do. Is that me? So the same thing, the same rules are in place, AKA Florida Man. By the way, if you're just joining us, you're watching Lemon Law. Lemon Law at 5 with AKA the Florida Man. And we're talking
Florida
about
Lawman.
The Florida Lawman. Oh, not the Florida Man. Sorry. The Florida Lawman. We're talking about this huge blunder by the White House today in this case about freezing federal money. So does everything stand, again, a hearing on Monday, and then we're going to find something? We're supposed to find out something officially about what's happening here?
Yeah, he's going to end this. This judge is going to put the kibosh on this whole thing. Right now, it's temporary. He's going to put the final order in, and then it could get appealed, but it's not going anywhere. They're going to have to go through the normal process within the Trump administration to freeze funding. They can't do it like this, and they're okay with that because it's not about winning the battle. It's about fighting the war. And to their supporters, they're fighting the war, and you can't blame them for trying and losing.
Okay, so meaning you said the normal ways, meaning they're going to have to go through the Congress, right? Because Congress controls the purse string. So as a lawman, you believe that the judge is going to throw this out and say, you got to do the right thing. You got to do it the right way.
Absolutely. And the one thing that Congress is really good at is at spending money. They don't like cutting anything. And so that's why Trump is trying to go around them through this, also through the creation of Doge, which is going to go nowhere fast. But at least it looks like he's trying. And at the end of the day, as soon as he tries to cut any discretionary funding, whether it's Social Security or Medicare or Medicaid, it's going to be such a pushback from his own supporters. He won't be able to do any of it. So what is he going to do? Do a little trimming here and there, but it'll be more deficits, more debt to pay for his incoming tax cuts.
Okay, wait, Dave, what do I hear? Do I hear you saying Doge has no power and is basically, I don't know, smoke and mirrors?
That's exactly what it is. And Elon Musk has already walked back his commitment to trimming $2 trillion from the budget. It was impossible to begin with. Now reality's starting to set in. But if Trump can blame Elon Musk when this is over, I think that relationship has a shelf life that's about to expire anyways. Too many egos in that room. So yeah, Doge is just a con. It's not going to result in anything. I would love for there to be like fiscal discipline where we have balanced budgets, but don't expect the king of debt. That's what Trump calls himself to do it.
So now they can't cut back, they can't trim as much as they thought, and they can't bring down the price of eggs. What happened to all those campaign promises, Dave Ehrenberg?
Well, he's fulfilling, in his eyes, the immigration one. He likes the cameras being there. He likes the controversy over the raids. But as far as the price of eggs, well, now there are geopolitical reasons why a president can't bring it down. If only Joe Biden was afforded that kind of grace, right?
Did they just figure out that there was a bird flu going around, and that was the real cost and the main cause of eggs being so expensive because there was a scarcity of eggs?
Well, when Joe Biden was president, he had the magic button that can reduce prices, including egg prices, and he refused to push it. Now that Trump's president, somehow Biden took that button home with him. That
Oh,
button is not available anymore, so Trump has to do it the hard way.
so okay, so folks fell for it. Now let's talk about that. How this freeze would have potentially affected Donald Trump's own voters the most in red states like you live, Florida.
It's another reason why he's okay with the judge looking bad in his supporters' eyes for this, because had these cuts really gone into effect, there would be a huge outcry, or as Trump would say, a huge outcry. And his supporters would have been hurt more than the blue states, because the red states really do depend on federal money coming into their areas, even though Trump tries to tell them that they're the ones funding the blue states. It's actually a lot different than what he says.
Hey, Dave, did you study, maybe asking something you don't know about that you studied, did you see the Gitmo thing?
Oh, that he wants to put immigrants at Gitmo now?
Yeah, the immigrants, 30,000 of the people that he is deporting, or that he rounded up, that he wants to put them in Gitmo, Guantanamo Bay.
Well, I visited Gitmo, Don, and I can tell you that Camp X-Ray, where they had the torture, has been closed. Gitmo is now a lot better for the individuals who are there, who are the high-ranking terrorists, people accused of 9/11 and some of the worst. It's not meant, though, even though the conditions are a lot better, it's not meant for general population, people who committed the crime of coming into our country illegally. By the way, people are allowed to come in and request asylum. So I don't know who he's going to put there, people who have committed crimes or people who can't be deported. I don't know what classification he's going to put in Gitmo. And I suspect that will generate more lawsuits. He'll lose again, and then he gets to blame the judges again while he gets away scot-free.
Oh my goodness. Hey, I'm going to talk a little bit more, but hey, Dave, do you have a little bit longer to talk about? Do you have a minute or so?
I can give you a couple more minutes. Sure.
Okay. Are you studied on Bob Menendez?
Up to a point, I saw that he was given 11 years in prison. I know that the evidence was pretty strong against him, so I think justice was done.
Yeah, we're gonna get back to that. Okay, you think justice was done, so you think he's gonna get it? Okay, all right. I'll update our viewers on it. But anything else, aka Florida Lawman, that I missed as it relates to, because this is a thing that people are talking about and are concerned about today. Everywhere I go, wait a minute, am I going to be able to do this? Am I going to be able to get this? What about my Medicare? What about my Medicaid? What about my EBT? Or the things that supplement my family, so that and my wallet, so that I can feed my family.
Well, chaos is a strategy for Donald Trump.
Really?
When we're talking about this, we're not talking about his pardons of 1,500 rioters, people who tried to overthrow the government, including people who beat up cops. So we've moved on to a new controversy, and it's going to continue to be like this throughout the presidency. And at least for Trump, he knows now that his legal challenges are largely behind him. So that I think that he's okay with this constant state of chaos, knowing that he doesn't have to run for re-election. He can go home a free man back to Mar-a-Lago. So he got what he wanted out of his candidacy. What the country gets out of it is something else. You're going to have a lot more of this chaos in the days to come.
So it really doesn't matter to him, as long as he got to stay out of jail and doesn't have to suffer the consequences, or do what most Americans have to do, is that face whatever consequence of the legal system. If they did something wrong, committed a crime or whatever, an injustice, he doesn't have to do that. Basically, he's above the law now because he's president of the United States, which is why he fought so hard to become president, right? So that he could stay out of jail.
That's correct. That was the reason why he announced early. And then ironically, it's that he gets to accuse the Biden Justice Department of targeting him because he was a presidential candidate, when the reason why he announced so early was to get these charges removed from him, because he thought as a presidential candidate, he can accuse the Biden administration of weaponizing the DOJ. But in the end, with the help of the Supreme Court putting its thumb on the scale, he got what he wants. And at least for now, there is no rule of law when it comes to one man.
Dave Ehrenberg, See you, buddy. Thank you. I really appreciate it. AKA Florida Lawman. I love it.
Thank you, Don. Love
We'll
lemon
see you
law.
soon. We got to come back and do the lemon law again with the AKA Florida Lawman. Thank you. This is
Love it.
Lemon Law at 5. That was Dave Ehrenberg. Today we're calling it Lemon Law at 5 o'clock because we're talking about the law. The Donald Trump and his folks faced a judge and the judge won. They fought the law this time and the law won. The law says not so fast. We're pausing your pause. Now, who would have thought that yesterday when we were here and right in the middle of the show, right at the beginning of the show, we were talking to Rachel Bittercopper, and then all of a sudden we're like, hey, Rachel, this has happened like 4 minutes ago. The judge has just paused the pause on federal spending. What on earth is going on? And now there is another development. To explain some of this, how they feel about it, I'm going to let you listen to someone who knows a lot more about this than me, especially more about this than anyone. But I just want to tell you, we're going to talk about a little bit more about this. We're going to tell you the breaking news. Bob Menendez, we're going to hear from his representatives, hear from the courts outside of the courthouse. And we're going to talk a little bit more about pardons. Okay. So make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you hit the likes, and make sure if you're joining us on a number of different platforms, we appreciate you. If you're on the TikTok, because I know you're there and I see your comments are scrolling. We got some trolls in there. We got Trump supporters. We got some MAGA folks, and we have, all kinds of folks in there. So make sure you hit the hearts. If you're following us on Instagram or on Facebook, we appreciate you. Make sure you follow our material. And if you're on the YouTube, which is our main channel, where our members' comments get prioritized and we get to hear from them. They get a voice here. We put their comments up and we answer their questions. And sometimes they help us out editorially, as they did all day today when we were following the hearings with RFK Jr. That was just the news this morning. Now here we are. Oh my gosh. Rocio Rooks, you read my mind. Did I say that out loud? Because I was going to say, this is a shit show. And you said the same thing that I'm saying. This is a shit show. So what on earth is going on? Okay, so let's go through this. I'll pause it if need be. This is Senator Chris Murphy on the harm of this funding freeze. Roll it, producers.
Here's what Stephen Miller, President Trump's closest advisor, said about Donald Trump's order to stop all federal funding programs that help Americans.
This doesn't affect any federal programs that Americans rely on, full stop.
Woof.
Okay, you heard what he said. He said that this isn't going to affect any programs that Americans rely on. Bullshit.
Pause.
Guess what leaked today?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You guys, producers didn't tell me that because they knew how I would react. Finally, someone speaking like an actual American who is pissed off and who is sick of this shit. Thank you, Senator Murphy. Senator Murphy, a Democratic lawmaker said bullshit. Finally. Democrats, are you listening? This is exactly what you need to be doing. Yes, you can be a human being. You can take your necktie off. You can say bullshit. You can say this is a shit show. Nothing matters anymore. Unless you do that. Then it will matter. Then you will be effective. Yes, I see all the applause in the comments. Thank you very much for calling it what it is, for calling bullshit. Thank you. Please go on.
The list of programs that are going to be shut down, it's 80 pages long. It is rife with programs that ordinary Americans rely on. You know what they're talking about shutting down? The Title I program in the Department of Education. That's the program that 2/3 of schools in this country rely on to pay teachers to keep the lights on in classrooms. You know what they're talking about shutting down? IDEA special education funding. the grant program from the federal government that pays for special education services for millions of American children. You know what they're talking about shutting down? Domestic violence shelter grants, so that domestic violence shelters will close their doors all across this country. You know what they're talking about shutting down? Basically every job training program in America that helps people who have been laid off by greedy corporations, the greedy corporations run by billionaires supporting Donald Trump, find a new job. 80 pages
Okay, pause.
of programs.
Where is Chris Murphy and what did you do with him? But whoever this is, I love it. I like it. I hope Democrats, I hope you're listening because this is exactly what you should be doing. Chris Murphy is the star of the show. Finally, not only are you calling bullshit, but you are telling them, you are explaining to people what the bullshit is, going through it. Finally, and guess what? It doesn't sound like a PowerPoint presentation. It sounds like someone who is a respected, seasoned professional who is still connected to his constituency. People who don't mind that you get a little feisty if you're fighting for them, that you break through, that you cut through the clutter by calling BS BS, by showing people how his own Donald Trump's own MAGA brain, MAGA cult folks have effed around and found out and have voted against their own interests, their own president, the person they voted for. The person they voted for is actually not governing for them. All of those promises that they made, the price of eggs, we're going to bring it down, they can't do it. We're going to freeze this, you can't do it. It's illegal. We're going to do this and we're going to do that. Can't do it. Well, it's different now, than when Biden was president because of the deep state. Let's listen.
That help ordinary Americans are going to be shuttered if this executive order goes into effect. And why? Because Donald Trump wants to steal money from elementary schools and domestic violence shelters and job training programs so he can afford his giant tax cut for millionaires and billionaires.
Pause.
You know why else? Because Donald Trump...
Pause, please. Oh my God. I wish, if I wasn't married and he was on I'd be calling him up now. Oh my gosh, Senator, thank you very much for that. Who was it in the chat that said, Dark Murphy? We love Dark Murphy. We love Dark Murphy. I'm in love. Finally calling out, hey, look, he's looking out for the billionaires, the millionaires, and the billionaires. Hey, looking out for you. Finally, someone calling it out. Was that Kelly and AZ? Kelly and AZ said, we love Dark Murphy. More Dark Murphy. Where's Dark Klobuchar? Where's Dark Booker? Man, that may get you in trouble. Y'all know what I mean. That was a good one. Baby, I don't want to say that one. But where are these folks? Where's Dark Sanders, Dark Bernie? Give me some other folks, right? Dark Booker, people are laughing. That could go a number of different ways. I crack myself up. Where's Dark all of these folks? Where are they? More, more, more. Where's Dark Warren? Take off your business suit. Take off your pantsuit. Come on down here. The water is fine. And speak up for the American people. Loudly, strongly, bigly. Don't be afraid to get in the dirt. More of Dark Senator. Dark Murphy. Let's go.
Because Donald Trump wants to decide by himself who gets federal funding and who doesn't. So he can make domestic violence shelters sign a loyalty pledge to him. So he can punish states that elect members of Congress who oppose him. So he can drive contracts and federal spending to companies run by his billionaire friends. The order that Donald Trump made yesterday affects almost every single American. Stephen Miller and the White House are lying to you, and you need to know that.
He said lying. He said lying. Oh my gosh. By the way, someone who said, say dark Hakeem Jeffries. Come on, y'all trying to get me in trouble. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Senator Murphy. Thank you for someone. Thanks for having a backbone. Thank you for calling out that BS right away. This is what it's doing. It's not affecting these programs. Right away, he goes, that is bullshit. That's bullshit. How do you guys feel about that? What do you think? Shall we go to the comments before I get on to the next story? Before we move on to the Menendez breaking news, what are you guys saying in the comment? What say you? Lots of applause. Debbie Navarro is saying applause. Balls are needed, says Gregory Wigfall. He didn't fall for the okie doke, says Christy Floyd. Amen. He did not fall for the okie doke. Didn't do it. We need you to say it from your chest, says August DeWinter. Say it from your chest. All Democrats organize and protest now, says Jim. Have a backbone. Patsy, BMO 2024 says, love it. It's about damn time. It's about damn time. It's about damn time. How do we fight? Call them when you're not okay with what they're doing, and call them to offer support when they're doing what they're supposed to. Amen. So we're supporting. We are for Dark Murphy. We like the feisty Murphy. That's what we want from our lawmakers. Not, I'm going to send you, I'm highly disappointed in a strongly worded memo. Again, speaking truth to BS, says Linda D'Amato. Amen. Shamala Mumu says, yes, voice, put bass in your voice. All the Democrats need to be sharing this information. Messaging matters, says Casey Ferg. While you're here and we're having this conversation and everybody's all fired up, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you share, subscribe, send a link to your friends and everyone you know. Again, we need you to hit the thumbs up. We have thousands and thousands of people watching us. Silence is not an option. Silence won't get it, Cheryl Jones. That's one of my sayings. Silence is not an option. Baca 2008 says, maybe I'm being too optimistic, but I think the Dems are getting it. I've seen Warren and Smith on IHIP. I don't know what that is. I think it's an art to be intentional about when, where, and how they show up. No need to go on damn Rogan. Interesting. Thank you for your support of independent media. I appreciate it. And welcome to all of our new members. Welcome. Thank you, Director, for U2C. Thank you for your support of independent media. When they do away with the Constitution, as we know, everything they want to do will be illegal. Will be legal. That is the direction they're going. Trust me on that. That is why yesterday, let me tell you, this is why yesterday I was so hard on them saying, look, you guys should be out there saying, hey, guess what? Guess what? They're getting rid of your Medicaid. They're getting rid of your Medicare. They're getting rid of this. They're screwing you out of this. And then you can mention, okay, this is illegal, but let the lawyers handle the legal part. And if anyone knows that today, it is that Caroline Leavitt, the press secretary. Let the lawyers be the lawyers. They can deal with the legality or illegality. Get your messaging on, Democrats. Like Missy says, she says, get your freak on. I say, get your messaging on. Get your message on. Get your message on. Get your message on. Speak up, Don. Thank you, Maureen Marfell. I appreciate your support of independent media. I'm speaking up. I'm tired of it. I told you guys, remember when I went on my little tirade or whatever you guys want to call it? I just think I was just speaking the truth when I was talking about about the racist voices in the MAGA movement. And they were finding out that all of this stuff about who's coming across the border and who gets to stay here, that it was BS. So now you're finding out. And I've been saying all along, you need to meet people where they are and speak loudly and strongly and do it from your chest. Don't back down. People need to be strong, not bend the knee, have a backbone. AJ Bell, thank you. Queer man in Marjorie Taylor Greene's district here. Avoid news since the election, feeling betrayed. Today, I'm back. Keep speaking and speaking the truth, Don. Thank you very much, AJ Bell, and thank you for your support. And just remember, if you are a member, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're subscribing. You have to hit the subscribe button at the bottom of your screen. You have to subscribe to the channel. We want you to become a member as well. Reginald Stewart, welcome to the Elimination. So Inez Miller as well. You have to speak loudly and strongly. And guess what, though? You got to be on the right side of the law. You got to be on the right side of the law. And the person who is not on the right side of the law, and I'm not speaking out of school, innocent until proven guilty, was proven guilty in a court of law and was sentenced. And I'm talking about New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez. You won't believe what Bob Menendez is doing. Bob Menendez was sentenced on Wednesday to 11 years in prison for trading bribes for political favors. Federal prosecutors levied allegations of bribery, extortion, and acting as a foreign agent against Menendez, then chair of the powerful Senate Foreign Relations Committee in fall of 2023. Last summer, he became the first public official ever convicted of acting as a foreign agent while in office. A New York jury found the senator and his wife, Nadine, accepted hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash, gold bars, and luxury cars from 3 New Jersey businessmen. Hey, Don, but you only do stories about MAGA and how bad it is. This is a Democratic story. This is a story about Democrats. We hold everybody accountable here, not just the Republicans. Are you listening? You feel me? In exchange, Menendez protected the halal meat certification monopoly of one of the businessmen, while Hana, in exchange for lucrative kickbacks, and intervened in separate criminal cases involving the other 2 men, Jose Uribe and Fred Davis. Before the judge handed down his sentence on Wednesday, Menendez, 71, tearfully asked for leniency, citing his decades of public service. You really don't know the man you're about to sentence, the ex-senator told U.S. District Judge Sidney H. Stein, according to the Associated Press. Menendez's attorneys argued that the case made him a national punchline, earning him the nickname Gold Bar Bob, which should serve as punishment in its own right, but the judge was not convinced. Listen to this. You were successful. Powerful. You stood at the apex of our political system, Stein said, according to the AP. Somewhere along the way, and I don't know when it was, you lost your way, and working for the public good became working for your good. Menendez was ordered to report to prison by June 6th. Outside the courthouse following his sentencing, he railed against the justice system and he derided the case as a political prosecution. Where have you heard that? Now that right there is the setup to what I'm about to play and what I'm about to tell you. A case of political, did he say prosecution or persecution? Because this quote says prosecution, but I think he meant persecution. He rallied against the justice and decried his case as a political, of course, it's a political prosecution. Well, maybe it's prosecution, or maybe it's a political persecution. It could be both. But here we are. I want everybody to sit back. Pay attention to this. All of you Lemonheads, you folks who are part of the Lemonation, as you are smashing the screens, I don't mean literally, I mean with the thumbs up and the likes and the hearts. Here it is. Watch.
Regardless of judge's comments today, I'm innocent.
I can't hear this, guys. Is this the volume? Is it going to get better?
Filing appeals on a whole host of issues. Let me just say this. This whole process
That's as loud as it gets.
has been nothing but a political witch hunt.
Political witch hunt, he said.
The Justice Department's NSD.
We can't play this. We got to find a better one. This is not good. I am not going to subject the viewers to this. We got to find another one. I wish I had seen that before. You can't hear that. Nobody can hear that. Can we find another one? So he said there were lots of microphones there. Somebody has one somewhere that we can get. President Trump was right, he said. Menendez, evoking Trump's own legal battles in New York. He said, this process is political and it's corrupted to the core. He says, I hope President Trump cleans up the cesspool and restores the integrity to the system. Oh my God, everybody. When they get into a position, they could have rallied against Trump. He's not, no, I can't stand him or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Goes from mayors to senators to media titans to even media anchors and reporters and all kinds of folks. Yes, sir, Mr. Trump. Save us. So now he's a Democrat. He's in trouble. Donald Trump's in office. Donald Trump's, he's handing out pardons like they're candy at the doctor's office. Roll it, Andy.
President Trump is right. This process is political and it's corrupted to the core. I hope President Trump cleans up the cesspool and restores the integrity to the system. Are you going to ask
for a pardon? He's taking a pardon, Senator Menendez?
Welcome to the Southern District of New York, the Wild West of political prosecutions. President Trump is right.
This is replaying it now.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
And it's corrupted to the core. I hope President Trump cleans up the cesspool and restores the integrity to the system. Are you going to ask for a pardon?
So that's
He's taking a pardon, Senator Menendez?
Right. Oh, I hope he cleans it up and Trump does Trump and integrity belong in the same sentence? Does Trump and integrity belong in the same sentence? TJ Walker about to sell his soul. Sad. Yes. Well, he's in trouble. Linda D'Amato says, you're part of the problem. You got caught. Emma says, LOL, of course it's a witch hunt. Judge also sentenced Wednesday, to the system. Wait, hang on one second. Oh, Hannah, who's part of it, was part of this, was also sentenced Wednesday to just more than 8 years in prison, and Diabes to 7 years in prison. Uribe, who pleaded guilty before facing trial, is set to be sentenced in June. Nadine Menendez, who is the mother, her trial has been postponed several times due to ongoing breast cancer treatment, is now scheduled to begin in March. Whoa, wow. Wow. As a powerful chair of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, Menendez signed off on several multi-million-dollar weapon sales to Egypt, which he repeatedly asked his wife to relay to the businessmen, who then passed on the intel to Egyptian officials between 2018 and 2022. Following a 9-week trial, this trial was. Menendez was found guilty on all 16 counts he faced. He resigned from Congress soon after. Federal prosecutors sought a 15-year prison term for Menendez, whose conduct, they said, constituted an extraordinary abuse of power and betrayal of the public trust. They wanted 15 years. They got 11. That's pretty close to the maximum. Senator Bob Menendez going to prison, pleading, a Democrat, pleading now for Donald Trump to fix a corrupted system. All of a sudden now, for him, it is a witch hunt. Now, here's the thing. That folks who are not part of the MAGA media, MAGA mind, whatever, who will believe anything their dear leader says or anything the party says, for those who will say, well, this is happening to Donald Trump because it's a witch hunt. And we don't believe the media. Now, are you saying that same thing now about Bob Menendez, guys? Meaning the MAGA folks are right? But here's the difference. Here's the difference in the party. Now, I have to say this every time. I don't belong to any political party. But this is the difference in the parties now. One side is saying it is a witch hunt. But Republicans can do no wrong, or MAGA can do no wrong, especially Donald Trump. Of course, it's a witch hunt. He did nothing wrong, despite the evidence, despite being found guilty. It is a witch hunt. It's a deep state. It's an activist judge. It's all of this. That's what's happening on the Republican side. On the Democratic side, do you know what people are saying? He should carry his ass to jail. He was found guilty. This was not a witch hunt. The justice was served. We believe in the jury system. We believe in the courts. He broke the law. He should face the consequences. Now, if you really thought like, oh, I'm biased, Don Lemon is biased. Don Lemon is on the left. Don Lemon will do anything. You think I'd be reporting here and telling the truth about Bob Menendez? No. That is the difference. Because conservative media, even the same thing, well, Donald Trump, he was charged for something that most people are never charged for, and they used the justice system, and the Biden Department of Justice was after him, and they thought him victim to, oh my gosh, it gets so sickening from hearing their bullshit all the time. Twisting themselves into pretzels, bowing to Donald Trump, kissing his you-know-what. For what? And then on the other side, you got, hey, look. The guy went to court. He had lawyers. They fought it out. There was a jury. The judge was there. The evidence is clear. He should suffer the consequences. Now tell me which party is closer to reality? Which party is upholding, at least trying to, I should say, democracy? Which party is respecting institutions? And it's not the MAGA right, those MAGA brain folks that will just anything. Oh my gosh. What do you mean? Some brown people are okay. They're taking our white jobs. That's who I'm talking about. Or the left that's saying, hey, that's how it works in this country. There are a lot of people with less power than Bob Menendez who go to jail every single day, and they don't get high-powered attorneys. They don't get to postpone their trials and to do legal maneuvers. They just suffer the consequences and they end up going to jail. Where's the lie? Where's the lie, people? Where's the lie? I wish I had one here. Hey, let's see if I have one over here. I don't. Oh, I do. This is what we need. This is what folks need. See that? That's a mirror. That is a mirror. To hold a mirror, that's what we're trying to do here. Hold a mirror up so you can see yourself. So you can see when you're being misled. So you can see when you're being co-opted. So you can see when people are putting the shiny object in your face and you're falling for it. And they are making billions of dollars and they're getting richer by keeping you fighting amongst yourselves. Keep them fighting. We're going to make money. Take their services away. No matter how we do it, they're going to say, oh, yay, okay. We don't care. That's our guy. Even though with this freeze, he would have taken your benefits away. Your right to have him as an American away. And you're still like, yay, yay, MAGA, go Trump, woo-hoo-hoo. Oh, we're going to lower the price of eggs. Then we can't do it. We're going to do all this. You can't do it. The stock market, then it crashes. But it's a deep state. It's always an excuse. So Bob Menendez, you do the crime, you do the time. Donald Trump, you do the crime, you become president. And if you're a citizen, you get your funds taken away. Price of your eggs actually go up. Price of gas, that too, can't control that either. I'm sorry I told you that. Let me tell you why. There are all kinds of forces, and the president doesn't get to he doesn't affect whatever. Always excuses. Excuses, excuses, excuses. Well, here's an excuse for you. I excuse you to not be sad. I excuse you to not have to sit in front of the television all day, not have to everything. Oh my gosh, what did you do this time? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Go live your life, people. Go live your life and tune in here every day. We're going to give it to you straight. We're going to give you the truth. I don't give a what about what somebody says, about somebody saying, hey, can you go downstairs and calm down on that set? Nope. The only people upstairs are my dogs who are ready to eat in a little bit because I'm doing it from home today. And so there are some folks in the chat who are asking me about my former colleague. We've already discussed that. I've discussed it. So don't ask me anymore. And I've told you. So I excuse you today to go and live your life right now and have a great dinner, go hug your family, go feed your dogs, go do whatever it is. But make sure you hit that like button, you subscribe, You come here and you watch us every day live at 5 so that we can have a conversation. And that you will continue to make the Lemon Nation grow. I went out to dinner last night. It was so funny when a restaurant, people were like, hey, I'm a lemon head. I was like, oh my gosh. Don, you finally found, you've hit your rhythm. I love the Lemon Nation. I'm like, are you guys really watching? Yes. I turn you on in the morning. I said, what do you do? Some said, oh, I watch you on YouTube. Others like, oh, I turn it on the TikTok. Someone said, it's on the Instagram. I'm like, wow. Well, people are saying, you're not on the network anymore. And they're like, we ain't watching that stuff. But they're watching here. And we're growing. You remember I said at the birthday I wanted to have 500,000 subscribers? We're almost there. I think we're going to have it March 1st. Okay. You guys are the best. And I'm going to see you, guess what? Guess when? Tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., we're going to have some hot topics. Now, I know things are hot in Washington, D.C., okay? Again, make sure you hit the thumbs up. I know things are hot in Washington, D.C. If you need a break, you can tell me. This is your channel as well. Do you need a break from it? Would you like me to talk about, look, like I say, A$AP Rocky's in court. Will Beyonce finally win album or performer of the year, the Grammys? I'm going to the Grammys. I'm going to get you some Grammys material. Do you want me to go to the Super Bowl and talk to some of those guys? Do you need a break? See, the difference is that we do not on this channel pretend that any of this is normal and that it is sanity. There is no false equivalency. We don't insult your intelligence. We don't bring people on just to lie on purpose, just to start a fight. Hey, let's all put all these people together and we're just going to fight. I hate you. What do you are? And then you're sitting at home going, what did I get out of that? Why am I watching it? So let me explain to you, okay? Let me explain to you. So it's like a professor. All right, I'm just going to explain to you now. I'm going to let you go, I promise you. I bring you on. I come on. I welcome you. I tell you like how I feel. If it's a good day, it's a bad day. If I'm exasperated, if it's whatever. Then I give you the information so you know the facts on the story. Then I give you elements. We call them elements. So that I can show you visually, or you can hear exactly what is being said. So you can absorb it, you can make up your mind, and then I either bring on an expert to explain it to you, to help explain it to you, and then I listen to you. I want to hear from you. Have you made up your mind? What do you think about it? What is your feedback? I want to know what you have to say because you are important. What you have to say is important. Your feelings as Americans. Are you okay with this? I ask all the time, are you okay with this? Do you guys like this? What is, is this okay with you? What more do you want to hear? I'm not insulting your intelligence. I'm not bringing people on to yell at each other. I am respecting you and trying to inform Americans, trying to inform an electorate so that you can make the best, most informed, most educated decisions about your life and who you should support politically to better your life and America. That's what patriotism is. And that's what we're doing here. So if you want some of that other, then go. And we do it without fear or favor. And I don't know if you guys realize that, but that's what I do to you every single time there's something like this. And then sometimes I give you a break on the weekend and I say, hey, let's chill out. What do you want to talk about? We'll do something fun. And then we end up at the end of the evening singing karaoke together. Because guess what? That's what real people do. Sometimes I wear a sweater. Sometimes I'm not wearing a tie. If I need to, I'll do that. Sometimes I wear a sweatshirt that has a message on it. But hey, I'm just like you. I don't have to be up on a pedestal. People say, I don't want my lawmakers on a pedestal. I don't want the people who bring me the news on a pedestal. I'm down here with you. You already told me, I don't want you in the studio. I don't want cable news. It looks too cable-y. Do it from your living room. And when I'm traveling, I do it from a hotel room. And sometimes I do it from the car. And does it matter to you? I don't think you care. I actually think you like it. I do it. I've done it in the kitchen. Remember, I've cooked you breakfast. I've cooked you dinner. I've given you recipes. I've done whatever. Talking about the news, informing you or relating to you as I am going about my life. So, see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Set your alarm for it. I love you for watching. Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support, and we will see you next time.